I think one of the impacts of the whole missional movement in the last 20 years obviously was back in the mid 90s, early 90s, a new movement toward church planting, which specifically impacted me because I was one of the pastors that planted one of those churches, and Sandy and I were called to do that by what was then called the Evangelism Church Development Committee. And so I think out of that movement initially, that whole church planting movement, some of the churches that came about through that process, some of the obviously the new believers that came into the kingdom through that process, that was a huge impact. And I have to say, as I think back, I'm saddened, I guess, that movement, the church planting movement that began then, was not able to be sustained in a significant way. I think in theory, churches planting churches is a good theory. And I fully agree that a church plant, let's say, would be a much stronger church plant if it comes out of a mother congregation and that congregation is behind it. I think in reality, we still need a strong conference support, encouragement, vision, motivation, training, etc. That needs to be behind that if it's really going to happen on a consistent, ongoing basis. And so I would say that saddens me that hasn't happened. I think we've lost something there. I think the missional movement has caused churches to evaluate. I know we went through some of the whole stuff years ago, natural church development, and there's been other things that we've done since. Sort of the evaluation tools. How are we doing as a church? How are we doing missionally? I think it's caused some churches to realize maybe we aren't doing as well as we thought we were, and has caused them to make changes. Other churches have maybe realized, hey, we're not doing too badly, and so that's been an encouragement for them, and has continued to help them continue to motivate them to continue to do what they're doing. So that's been positive. I think that evaluation process has been a very helpful one. I think it's probably broadened our understanding of what it means to be missional. I think probably historically we've had some churches that have assumed missional means word and speaking and evangelism. We've had some churches that have thought missional means the practical, the cup of cold water. And I think probably for both sides of that spectrum, it's broadened it out to say maybe it doesn't have to be either or, maybe it's both and. And so it's the verbal along with a cup of cold water. And so I think that's probably one of the most significant things that I've seen happen in our denomination over the last number of years, that it's broadened our understanding from both perspectives, and maybe we've come to a better understanding in the middle somewhere that we can all agree on. So I would say that would be a key thing there.